Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ohio State Call-In Show. I'm your co-host, Ryan Stano.
I'm Garrison Gaddy.
Sorry, folks, started a little late. Had a little technical difficulty there, but we do have a lot to talk about. I'll go ahead and drop the link into the chat for you guys to go ahead and call in because we got some news since we last spoke on Monday, Garrison, and it's positive news. The Buckeyes officially got defensive end Bo Atkinson from the transfer portal, the kid from North Carolina. He made visits to both Ohio State and Georgia and decided that Ohio State was the place that he wanted to be. So he officially signed with the Buckeyes, and he's someone who had 7.5 sacks last year, gives Ohio State a proven edge rusher at the P4 level. And I think it's someone who we both believe is really going to help on the defensive line. So what are your thoughts now that he's officially signed with the Buckeyes?
I'm happy. I do believe that he is a piece that can kind of set us over the top. Like Ryan, I'll be honest here. When the news came out that he was in the transfer portal, I saw the type of player he was with the production he's had over the last 2 years. You know, now will it help if we get another defensive tackle? I would say yes, it would help. But at the end of the day, what do I really need from a nose tackle or defensive tackle, right? I just need you to go out there and be a big body, be strong. Yeah, I don't need you to be smart. Yeah. And you know what? I think I can trust like a Malone to do that. Okay.
Can we?
I think we can. I think I can. And so, with that being said, I'm here to tell you right now, I'm over the top about this addition to the Ohio State team. I think that he's a piece that could take our defensive line to the next level and defense to the next level. It's another pass rusher. I think our too deep at edge rush, I think it's up there with the likes of a Texas, or at least it can be. I'll say that because we still have to see that guys like CJ Hicks out there. I mean, it might go 3 deep depending on what we think Logan George can be for us in the season. I think he's gonna get some playing time early to see what he can actually be later in the season. You know, so no, I'm happy. I think Bo Atkinson's a really good football player. I think he's an adult in the room, so that's always good to have. And it also means that he's a culture fit. It means that he fits in to what the Ryan Day is preaching over at the Woody. So yeah, I fully believe that we're now in the national championship conversation. Because I don't think like all right, it wasn't that well. I don't think we were beforehand.
Yeah,
but now I'm just willing to say that I think we're better. Like we might be better than everyone else in the nation. How about that? I'll say it that way. I think there's a chance that we might be the best team in football next year.
Okay,
and that's not crazy to say.
No, that's not crazy to say, considering it's something I thought already before this. But we Ohio State still needs some help on the defensive line. Like they still need some defensive tackles. Missing out on Murad Watson hurt a little bit.
Do you think they need 1 or 2 more?
I preferably 2.
What do you think they need?
Need maybe the problem is they only need 1 if it's a stud, but there's no stud defensive tackles left in the transfer portal. Like you don't get good stud guys in the transfer portal for a reason. So, I do think I trust Edric Houston as a defensive tackle because they're going to have to play him there.
Well, I think him and McDonald are very good too. Like I think that's a good baseline start.
Yeah, so. McDonald, I don't think he's bad. I would like to. I just want to see more out of him just because we didn't get to see a whole lot of snaps. I guess meaningful snaps. When I say meaningful, I mean playing in clutch situations against good teams, aka in the college football playoff. Right. So I think he could be good, but I'm not entirely sure. And that's really what I'm looking for. And I would have felt a lot better about the defensive line if they got Watson, if they would have added him as well. But it is what it is. I think Atkinson. I think he rolls right in as a starter. I don't think that's a question.
Yeah.
Starting defensive end.
Whose spot does he take?
I tend to think Kenyatta, but he's also
You think he's gonna take Kenyatta's?
he seemed pretty happy about it on social media, so maybe not. I mean, based on last year, Caden Curry was a much more productive player.
No,
So I would
Caden has been a better football player than Kenyatta since he's been on campus.
exactly, and that's why I would assume it would be Kenyatta's spot that he takes. But I guess they'll have a whole fall camp to go ahead and decide that. So that'll be interesting to see.
No one's wearing 33 yet.
No, and the edit that I saw from Hayes Fawcett, who said that he was coming, had him in number 12. So that must be a number that he's looking at, which is a weird number for a defensive end.
Yeah,
but if that's what he wants, I guess that's what he wants. I think this is a move that Ohio State kind of had to make. Like, they needed to get someone on the defensive line, whether it's defensive tackle or defensive end. They needed to get someone who's got proven production there. And it makes me feel a little bit better that they have someone like him in the lineup with three other guys who don't have a ton of experience. Although Caden Curry and Houston saw, sometime down the stretch. Got anything else about this before we go ahead and bring in our first caller?
No, let's go ahead and bring Robert up.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring him in.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, Robert.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Robert?
Not too bad. Man, I've been a Larry supporter from day one. I will remain that, but this is making me nervous, dude. I needed to hear. I didn't need a big time defensive tackle. I just needed a defensive tackle, and we haven't gotten anything. I trust Larry. I just want to trust that Jason Moore and Ty Malone are being developed over the summer, because not we're screwed.
I don't have high hopes for Malone. And just quick pause for people that are also Browns fans in this chat. They just traded the number 2 overall pick. So they're trading down.
I was watching Lord of the Rings. Right, okay.
Yeah, so they're trading that pick. But, as far as your comment, Robert, about the defensive tackle, I'm right there with you. I just want a defensive tackle at this point. I need someone who can, help plug a hole.
Yeah, just somebody kind of push that room a little bit, man, is all I'm concerned about. I mean, I'm not expecting a day one starter or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's why when we talked about the spring game, I kept talking about Jason Moore's body language, and I just didn't like it. It didn't seem like he was ready to play football. And mind you, I can understand that, in a game, especially as a defensive tackle, where you can't really tackle the guys that you're going up against, and then you can't go after the quarterback like that, so you probably don't have as much motivation. But
they were live with some of those points, man. They were getting pushed back. They were getting pushed back 3 yards.
And shout out to my guy Gabe Van Sickle, West Michigan's very young, was one to put him on his butt. So
yeah, man. But I guess in Day we trust, right?
Sure.
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Ryan.
No, all I was going to say is we're going to find out real quick about Matt Patricia, about the defensive line and what he's going to be able to do.
Oh yeah,
because they don't have a whole lot of the depth is concerning, and for Larry Johnson, a guy who likes to rotate a lot of guys. And he lost that battle to Jim Knowles last year, and it seemed to work out when you keep your best guys on the field. Good things seem to happen. They don't have the depth to rotate, so if they do, there's gonna get a lot of pressure on that back seven.
I'm just going to be sick, if it comes down to defensive tackle depth being what keeps us from, going from being a great team to an elite team.
Yeah,
no, I really think that. For me, I tweeted this earlier today. As long as Ryan Day is the head coach of Ohio State, I really don't care about offense. I chalk it in as baseline going to be very, very good. Baseline.
That's his baby, man. He won't let that get too far out of control.
Exactly. So the defense, how many teams on the schedule do I think can honestly go out there and outscore our team?
On the regular season schedule, not a lot.
Yeah,
maybe I would say Texas is it. So I saw a comment right here. Where is it? Yeah, from Wesley. he says have faith in the D line is going to be fine. Players will get better over the season. By the end of the year, it will be a top 5 D line. I do think it can be that. I do.
Like I said, I believe the especially with Bo there now. I believe that our front four is past the depth is fucking. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, guys.
You can curse.
No, you're good.
Is great, but like anything after those first 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys, and nothing interior at all that I have a high hopes for. So
I'm not worried about the edge guys. Yeah,
the edge guys are fine. But yeah, I was gonna say I'll hop off here and let you guys get your next caller up or whatever. But just want to. I hate typing, so I just want to get that off my chest.
Yeah, no,
I feel you.
For sure. Appreciate you calling in.
All right,
Robert, I always tell my friends, Robert, I tell them if I really have to tell you something, I'm not gonna text you.
Yeah,
so no, you did it the right way.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Right.
See you.
Thank you, man.
Well, to Robert's point, just real quick before we, he was talking about Texas hoarding DTs down there. He's right. I mean, they took Hero Canoe from us, and I'm not saying Hero is like
Hero, you should come back,
of this issue, but
Hero should come back.
Honestly, what they should do is they should take that punter they should take the punter that just entered the transfer portal from Texas.
Well, yeah, that too. But there's all these guys that went to Texas, right? Like one of you guys don't want to we can't tamper at a little bit of tampering.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, while we were doing that, the Browns, I told you they traded the number 2 pick. They traded it to the Jaguars, and it looks like they're going to do so in order to take Mason Graham. The Browns are going to want to take Mason Graham with the 5th overall pick. So,
okay, so Titans, of course, took Cam Ward,
yeah.
Who are the Jags going to take?
They probably traded up for Travis Hunter, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Bring him back to Florida.
Which, he's good, so that would make sense.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. Yeah.
Just one more point here to wrap up the defensive line conversation, and then we can move on. I do think I trust the edge guys. Like I trust Atkinson. I think I trust Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson. I think those 3 I like. We'll see about CJ Hicks. I do think he will be decent. I don't think he'll be great, but I think he'll be decent. But other than those 4, it gets a little dicey for me on the edge. And on the interior, like I said, I maybe only trust Edric Houston, and that might be it. I want to trust Caden. Like I think Caden's got a chance to be good, but I need to see it first.
Well, I guess I kind of hold out hope on Caden because I've seen him make important plays throughout last year's season. And I can't lie, I am a little bit biased towards Caden McDonald. I have been a big fan of his since he committed to Ohio State.
Yeah,
I thought he was a really good player out of Georgia. So, but yeah, after that, again, at deep tackle, after you get past the first 2, and mind you, Edric can play the edge if need be. Ever, we would have switched things up. But it gets scary at deep tackle, but on the edge, I think we have enough there. I mean, they've even talked about Arvell Reese getting down there at the edge. We know Sonny can go do that if need be. We've seen him do it before. We have so.
I don't want to take Sonny away from the middle though, especially if the middle's gonna be soft. I want him coming downhill and stopping the run.
No, well, did you? So I posted what possible 3-4 defense could look like for us. And so
I scrolled right by that because I don't want a 3-4 at all.
Why not? I think people forget if you run a scheme very well, it doesn't matter. And I was talking to Michigan. I was talking to Michigan fans. I told them, I said, I saw you guys get beat up by a 3-3-5.
Yeah.
And one of them didn't believe me, so I pointed out. I said, remember the first play of that game, Diamond Edwards had a 52-yard run. He finished with 119. That was 2.9 per after that first run.
Yeah.
3-3-5. Oh, and that was the Joe Moore Award-winning O-line. And
sure.
you could in the NFL, the 3-4 works.
In the NFL works.
Yes, in the NFL.
Ohio
we have options. We have options. We have options.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what Patricia wants. You gonna go ahead and bring Caden in?
Yeah. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and do it. You do it.
Okay, that might have been me then. All right. What's going on?
Okay.
Nice. Good evening. How you doing, fellas?
Good.
How you doing?
What are you doing?
Fine. Hey, let's get some
What is
stuff
that?
out of the way.
Dodge Ram?
That I need to break some news on.
What are you breaking?
Breaking news. It is official. This Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is the unsanctioned show. Me versus Burks this Sunday at 7 p.m. It is official.
Okay.
Wait. When?
Well, Burks didn't answer my challenge, but it's gonna be. It is official still. Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the unsanctioned show.
Okay. So that'll be on Sunday, I guess. That'll be interesting. I hope you're able to tune in. I will be in Italy, so I'll let you guys have fun with that.
Nice.
Oh yeah, your boy's going abroad.
So you're probably wondering, folks, what does unsanctioned?
Yeah, I will.
No, you're probably wondering, Garrison and Ryan. You're probably asking me. You're probably like, what? Why does it have to be so unsanctioned? Well, you know what? The Voice of Color Football doesn't accept a lot of foul language on this channel, and because Mark Rogers has a family-friendly policy, so that's why it is unsanctioned. No rules.
Oh, nice.
Just straight up.
Can you kiss your mother with that mouth?
No, I do kiss my mother with my mouth, and you know what? She knows that it's the time of my life that I'm starting to do this. I'm 21, and
nice.
I'm in the adult life, dude.
Nice. So what are you and Burge going to be battling out about?
Oh, everything, dude. I mean,
is it strictly Ohio State, Michigan?
Yeah, it's going to be Ohio State, Michigan, but it's just going to be on a whole rated R, rated X scale.
I hope not rated X. I don't need to see. There's certain things I don't.
What does that mean?
No, just a lot of mother and aunt references.
Okay.
Because I gave a hit on who Tom Brady's two ex girlfriends were, but you'll have to watch that episode to figure that out.
Okay. I want to ask you, what do you think about the Bo Atkinson signing
to Ohio State?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where
you know what?
Toledo?
No, I'm playing with you, Garrison. Bo Atkinson to Ohio State is a good acquisition. I feel like he's going to be another good key to help this team out. Especially because this team is going to go back to another national championship.
I'm getting there close. I'm getting closer to with you on that one, Caden.
We're going to go back to another national championship.
I'm ready to come on this channel and tell a lot of lies. I'm ready to tell a lot of lies, man.
No, I'm being serious, Garrison.
I'm almost gonna I think this could be one of the best.
We'll see. I'm
gonna relax.
Yeah.
No, but that's just the way I feel, Garrison. Now you can disagree with me. Ryan can disagree with me, but this is just how I feel because our team has proven. That we're ready for anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Oh, no,
that's the bottom line.
The guys on the team said they haven't proved anything yet, Caden. They took down all the championship stuff.
See, there's a difference, Garrison. They tell you that they're not, but when fall time comes and Texas comes to town, that's when you're really going to see a lot of the bigger picture that I'm talking about now when they do. Because this is the part of the season they say they don't.
Hold on. You need to write an Ohio State manifesto.
But here's the thing, Garrison.
I think you could. I think you could write one. Write one worth a reading.
But here's my 2 cents, Garrison, that I'm saying is that they're trying to say that they're not ready, but when the season starts, you just see them just burst like a bomb and just hit everybody like they didn't know what hit them. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the part of the season where they're trying to stay dormant, and then when the season starts, they're going to start hitting people left and right, up and down the road.
No, I
nobody.
do. I think I actually talked to Ryan about this on here. I think, and I actually know people that actually agree with me on this, but I do think if this team were to win a national championship, I think it would be kind of like the 2014 year where they did it a year early. Like I think 2026 is the year, but
well, it would be different because actually the 2015 team actually did what they were this would have been like this team. Like, had the 2015 team won the national title, they would have done what they were supposed to do. Like, they were supposed to win it.
But I'm saying I wasn't expecting the team before that 14-15 team to win it all.
Correct, but I was expecting
I don't really expect at first. I'm not really expecting this team to win it all, but I think they have a really good chance to do it.
I might be somewhat expecting them to do it. I don't know.
I gotta see it.
No, I'm certainly not. And like I said, like I mentioned, the defense. We'll see about the defense, and obviously we have to see what the quarterback does.
But let me just say this, Ryan and Garrison, with all due respect to you fellas.
Go ahead.
As someone who's played the game of football myself, and Garrison knows this, I feel like this is the time where Ohio State is just going to lay low in the offseason, not really pay much attention. Like, the media isn't going to pay much attention to them. They're not going to be focusing on them majorly. You know how they don't allow the media teams in during the summer training camp, boot camps? It's because they're preparing for the next season. That's even how me and the fellas, like, at the school I played for, we told the media groups over there to stay out of our facility, because this is the time for us to focus and get locked in for when the season starts, and then they can see what we're cooking, and then in the season to come. So that's my 2 cents.
No, I respect it.
Fair enough.
Just like Georgia. I mean, Georgia for 2 years they did that. I mean, 2021, 2022. That's what they did. And then when they lost,
but that was 2 years of insane front seven offensive line talent. That was their defensive line was otherworldly. Front seven was actually.
But please understand where I'm coming from, Garrison.
No, I do.
I'm just saying in particular. Like, this is the part where they're just not. They're gonna tell the whole media group to stay out of their facilities for a while. Because, like I said, this is the time where they're gonna really start, getting ready to go. Especially since we play Texas week 1. Look at our schedule. We got Texas week 1. Arch Manning's coming to Columbus. But trust me when I say this, the Texas game will be a bloodbath. And I will tell you that it will be a bloodbath, and I guarantee it will be a bloodbath.
Got anything else here for us, Caden?
No. If I think of anything else, I'll let y'all know in the comments. But other than that, Ryan, Garrison, is good to see you as always. And go Bucks, OHIO, and that scum team sucks.
All right.
Thank you, Jaden.
See you. I will say this. This is the time the media is not in the facility, because there's no one else in the facility. There's not a whole lot on there. But I will say this. I mean, Ohio State, this would be the first time since Georgia that there's an actual legitimate team that could repeat, I think. Last year, everyone knew Michigan had no chance. They lost way too much talent on both sides of the ball.
And the talent drop-off was...
It was significant.
Yeah.
I know Michigan fans seem to think Ohio State lost a lot from this team, which they did, but the talent drop-off is not, their drop-off was from here to way down here. Ours is here to here. Like, it's not a big jump there. So that's why I think they legitimately do have a shot to go ahead and win it all. So while we're waiting for our next caller, I know there's something we didn't get to on Monday that I know you wanted to. I didn't know if that's something you wanted to go ahead and do now while we wait for some callers, the offensive depth that you were wanting to bring out?
Yeah. Okay. So, oh yeah, because thank you for reminding me about that. We did defense, right?
We did defense.
Okay. So let's start with running back.
Okay.
So right now, I mean, you're talking CJ. We start with CJ Donaldson Jr. Over almost 1,500 rushing yards in the last 2 seasons, 700 yards each. Lost some weight, looks a little bit more explosive. We found out that he can play wide receiver, I guess. So I mean, he can be a receiving threat. You got James Peoples, who played with spare time last year, right? But we know, I think we all know he's super talented, and I think you could really tell that for the simple fact that he barely played in the spring game. It's because they don't really need to see anything out of him. After that, and that's the 1-2 punch, right? After that, though, well, you know what? Well, nope. Let's bring up Rob. We'll get to that later if we ever do.
All right. I was going to give you some of my thoughts, but yeah, let's go ahead and bring in Rob.
Yeah, no, we're going to get back to it.
What's up, you guys?
What's up,
How's it
Rob? How you
going?
doing?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Got my my Lions shirt on, dude. Just waiting to see who they're gonna draft.
I forget you're a Lions fan. Like I gotta remind myself you're from the state of Michigan, like me.
Yeah. Here's who I'm hoping they draft, man. This is not me being biased towards the Buckeyes, but I hope they draft Jack Sawyer. I think he has a motor to him,
in the first round.
I think they'll get him in the second round.
The second, yeah.
Okay.
That'd be top stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
he'll fit the culture.
If you pair him, alongside some of the other guys, I mean, obviously, I'm not sure he'd be a day one starter opposite of Aiden Hutchinson there on the DN, but he could definitely play his way onto that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he definitely raised his draft stock during the playoffs. I mean, people talk about JT Tumalo, but I'm like, dude, I think Jack Sawyer had more production towards that playoff stretch than JT Tumalo did. I mean, plus he, that hometown hero, 95 yards to the heart of Texas, fumble recovery.
Sure.
But I just be shocked if the Lions or maybe even, I mean even like the Bengals or Cleveland or I don't know, man, maybe even the Chargers take a chance at him and take him. Hope not, but that would be so funny, man, seeing him paired with Harbaugh.
I think there's a lot of Buckeyes this draft class that are second round guys. About some of them lean towards third round a little bit more. But there's
a lot of guys are gonna get drafted
round
tomorrow. A lot of Buckeyes are getting off the draft board tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
but and some of these guys are like, if you could justify taking some of these guys in the first round. Like I could justify picking like a JTT in the first round because of his athletic ability, his size, all that good stuff. Good against the run. Has a very high peak, but it'll still be a reach for me. But I think, like Brian said, a lot of these guys are going tomorrow.
I could see someone taking Henderson, maybe sneaking up there.
He's a name that's been jumping up. He's been jumping up draft boards. You're right, Rob. I think there's a chance. There are 3 guys who I think have a chance to have their names called tonight. I think Josh Simmons is going in the first round tonight. I think he's probably going, mid-teens or so. I think Emeka Egbuka is another person who's got a shot at the end of the first round. I know there's a lot of teams that need wide receiver help. Looking at the Bills, the Chiefs, even the Rams down there as well. I think those 3 teams are teams to watch out for. And I know there are a lot of Chiefs fans that want Trevion Henderson as well. Yeah. And he's been someone that's been rocketing up draft boards here late. So I think those 3 guys have a shot to be called tonight.
Yeah. So you think? So you said Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons is definitely going to get drafted.
I think
maybe Egbuka and maybe
Trey right now is he was a 190 right now on FanDuel for the first round.
Yeah, there's just so many mock drafts.
Linus.
Okay,
Oh
interesting.
man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen other mock drafts where the Lions take Donovan Jackson 28 overall. So
He's
it seems
someone
like
who's been getting up draft boards as well,
Yeah.
but I think he's still probably a second round pick. But I mean, he's gonna be a really good offensive lineman because he's
Yeah.
versatile as we saw last year.
Wow, the
Oh yeah,
Giants
definitely. He went
picked up
from that
Bill
guard
Carter.
position to that tackle position.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he's
And
shown he's very valuable in terms of playing both positions. So
for sure. And yeah, Garrison, the Giants took Abdul Carter. And it looks like
Who's
the
the
Browns
quarterback?
might move down again. Their quarterback is probably someone they're going to take in the second round. That's what they're looking at. They're probably going to take like Jackson Dart or hell, Shador Sanders might fall to the second round.
So my wife's a Steelers fans. I'm like, I've been joking. They're saying, man, what are the Steelers select Jalen Milrow? And she's like, God, no.
My dad will jump off a bridge if that happens. Yeah. He's a Steelers fan too.
She was watching that Michigan Alabama game with me, and she's like, I don't know. Like, because literally all you have to do with Jalen Milrow is put a spy in him, make him throw for it, and then rush him through his progressions, and then he just complete failure. So yeah, but so why I came on here is I was talking to Peter last night, my co-host. I never call my shot in this game, but I'm gonna call it right now, man. I think, and I'm not just gonna come on here and just say this is our year. I'm gonna give a reason. I think Ohio State beats Michigan this year, and not because this is their year. As we saw, Ryan Day has a Michigan problem. Clearly has a Michigan problem, but that comes with the lack of confidence he's had in big games. And even though Michigan was going in that game 7-5, I mean that's the game, big rivalry, the biggest rivalry in all of college sports. And so it's just like he lacked that confidence still. You had that Oregon loss. That was a top 5 loss. And then, again, Michigan's a big game. So it's kind of like, yeah, living side side, lack of confidence. But then you have this playoff run where it's just like beat Tennessee, beat the number 1 team in the nation, Oregon, then beat a top 5 team in Texas, beat a top 5 team, Notre Dame. I just think going into the season, his confidence is at an all high. He's not gonna second guess himself as a head coach, and I think that they're gonna finally play to their strengths in this game, and they will get it done. And it's gonna be bitter. It will be bittersweet. This does happen. I think it will happen. And as far as Ohio State's not going to take this big step back. I mean, I'm pretty sure Michigan fans are expecting the Buckeyes to show up to that game with like 3 or 4 losses in the bag, but just like the boosters care too much. We've recruited too well over the years, and that's the thing. Like, if you look at Michigan's recruiting from like 2020 to like 2024, like there's like this big differential between how Ohio State recruited, how Michigan recruited, because those I think it was like the 2021, 23, and 24 class, they were like top 15. We're not talking about like top 10, top 5 like Ohio State has done year after year. But yeah, I think that the talent's still going to be there. And I think the coaching's still going to be there as well. I think that, yeah, losing Jim Knowles, who, brought our defense to a whole different level in terms of, it being safety driven. But, I just think that it's not as big as a loss as people think it is. And, I think a year from Brian Hartline being under Chip Kelly did a lot of wonders for him. So that's just my theory. That's my take. I think that Ohio State goes into Ann Arbor this season and they get it done. And you know what? Go ahead, plant the flag. I don't care. I hope they don't.
I fully agree with you. I'll take it a step further. I said this already now. I think I think that sometimes the wave of the or the sway of the rivalry happens in games where you happens when you least expect it in a way, kind of. Like you would expect these last few Ohio State teams that we've had to have beaten Michigan at least once, right? They've been some very good team, national championship level teams. I mean, heck, even 2023. Like I remember, like my buddy Bryce had like Michigan fan. After the national championship, he came on the show and he said, "You guys are the second best team in the nation. Like you guys are clearly the second best team in the nation. Like these have been championship level football teams." In 2021, I don't think any of us expected to lose that game. Now, even though it's a little bit closer, I think, and it was not closer, but Ohio State is going through their own little thing right now with new coordinators, new quarterback, and all of that. But again, like I when it comes to the offense, I don't care. I think as long as Ryan Day is the head coach at Ohio State, offense is going to be fine. So I think that this year, like it's got somewhat be shocking, right? I think that Ohio State does go into, and listen, there's nothing I can point to right now that would say this. There's no data point I think I could go by to say this. Also, because knowing that in the game, emotions sway how the game is played. That's just fact. We have Ryan Day. We've seen his emotions take over that game plenty of times now. Urban Meyer, but I mean, actually, no, Urban Meyer. You could tell when he was almost passing out on every single November on the sideline because it takes a lot of emotion out of you. I think Ohio State is going to go into Ann Arbor and stuff a mud hole in them. I think that's going to happen this season. I really do.
I tend to agree that Ohio State is going to beat them this year. I think that by the time that game rolls around, I think whoever the quarterback is, and we tend to think it's Julian Sand, will be comfortable in the offense. Brian Hartline will have grown comfortable as a play caller. Matt Patricia will have the defense doing whatever it is he wants it to do. We still don't know quite what that is yet.
Don't worry about it. Super Bowl level.
Okay, and I will see what the we'll see what the Michigan team looks like, because I don't have any confidence that their offense is going to be much better than what it was last year. I know it's hard for it to be much worse, but their defense I think got worse as well. So
a lot of people think it's going to get better, and I don't know. I don't see where.
Yeah, well, and to Rob's point about Ryan Day having more confidence, that is a fact, and I do think that plays a big part into the game next year, because he's not going to be coaching with tight butthole as he's been doing for the last 4 years. He's got that national championship, so he's way more relaxed, and I think he understands now that you don't have to just play the game one certain way. You don't just have to try to beat them down up the middle of the trenches. You can throw the ball to your Lamborghini wide receivers out there and actually make plays. Like he learned. I think he's learned from his mistake. So I tend to agree with both of you.
Listen, man, there's gonna be a lot. This is the fun part about the rivalry and just football in general. There's gonna be so many Buckeyes with Mason Graham jerseys.
Yep. Now that he's a Brown. Yep.
Well,
apparently he was handpicked by Myles Garrett.
Brown.
Apparently Myles Garrett wanted them to take him, so that's what they did.
Do you think there's a chance that CJ picks Mecca? Since CJ, they've given CJ like power in the last 2 years. Yeah,
I think it's low, but maybe
it could happen, man. I mean, right now pretty much they're. I mean, yeah, they got Diggs, but wasn't he? And
Diggs is gone.
They have
Diggs is gone. He's in New England now.
He's gone. Okay, all right.
So they've got Nico
Tank
Collins and Tank Dell. That's it.
They need another wide receiver.
Injury prone though. Yeah, they do.
Oh, you're right.
Actually, you know what? But Tank Dell. I mean, yeah, he's very injury prone, but he's he's a fast guy that can get to the outside.
He's CJ's best friend on the team.
Yeah, I mean, they do need a slot guy.
Yeah,
definitely.
That and probably an offensive lineman.
Yeah, they've got other needs.
Yeah, we'll see. Because there's word that I don't know. Like, there's this wide receiver from Arizona who is supposed to go before Abu.
I don't understand. I don't understand the hype from him. Like, I think he's good, but like, I've also seen like concerns about the fact that like he seems a little lazy. I don't know. I to be honest, I didn't watch enough of him at Arizona to really have that much of an informed opinion. I didn't watch enough of his tape, so.
Hey, Rob, let me ask you a question, man.
All right.
Because you are a Lions fan, so this is actually perfect because it ties in. So, I remember telling about like Alabama people. I remember telling like Lions fans, they're talking about, man, I got like you guys didn't let J-Mo on the field at Ohio State. You guys held him back. And I said there was a reason. I said it's not that Jameson isn't good, but I said I think you all need to remember who was ahead of him. And they're like, well, he's just as good as those guys. I said, no, he's not. Otherwise, he would have been. Otherwise, a younger JSN would have taken his spot. Mind you, JSN's slower than him. And then, for the last few years, I remember telling people, I went through Jameson's Instagram one day, like 2 years ago when he was drafted. And I said, that dude don't care about football. And I said, I don't think he's going to last in Detroit. And here we are, man. And, they're talking about shopping him. And I want to know, how do you feel about this Jameson situation in Detroit?
Man, here's the thing. And I could tell you why he was passed up the depth chart at Ohio State. We've seen the type of receivers that Brian Hartline loves to get, and it's smooth route runners, just natural, smooth route runners who know how to get separation, and not just these burners like Jalen Ballard, who's at Wisconsin. We've seen what he's doing right now. All he's doing is, running past the cornerback,
Flies
and
and
that's
slants
it.
and screens.
Yeah. So it's kind of like I saw that in his, when he first started out the lines. I mean, Pat, after that, that suspension for gambling, then, there was the ACL tear. But man, like, here's the thing. Like, if he's on this like lockdown cornerback who can run with those burners, because it's just like Jamo's not this like great route runner. I just haven't seen that with him. What I've seen is they do reverses with him.
He's a yak guy.
He's an all or nothing guy, pretty much.
Like,
he's like,
yeah.
Go on.
They try to get him out in space so he can take the ball yards after the catch. Like that's what he does. That's his specialty. That and go
like
routes.
They would they do like a delay, have him go down the middle, have the middle like wide open, he gets it, then the yards after catches. But other than that, like, I can't believe still Alabama fans are like confused why he didn't make it at Ohio State. It's not that Jam was not talented. It's not that he's not fast or anything. It's just like he's not the wide receiver that Brian Hartline was looking for. But man, it's remained to be seen that, I mean, if they're shopping him, they're shopping him. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to go where maybe he can get some more money, or maybe, he just not feeling the Lions anymore. But I will say that, what is his name? Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator. Yeah. Maybe Ben Johnson knew how to play to his strengths, and we'll see what this next offensive coordinator can do. Maybe
we'll
get him open space. There's a lot of trick plays that involved him too. But man, at first I was like, this dude's not going to work out because all he was a burner. But yeah, that's Jamo for you. But we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. If Igbokwe gets taken in the first round this year, he would be the 6th wide receiver from the 2021 Ohio State wide receiver room to be taken in the first round, which that's actually nuts. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, J-Mo, Marv Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then it would be Emeka Igbokwe. That would be wild.
I mean, that is crazy. I mean, there's even still a photo out. They're all in the same photo. Like that's
2021 spring. They were all still on the roster at that point.
But what's the funniest comment that I see in that photo it's I can't believe these receivers didn't win a national championship. It's funny because it wasn't their fault. It was the
Yeah.
defense's fault.
Yeah.
I love how people say, "Oh, well, they lost. They didn't do much. They got like no, it was the defense." Like,
Mhm.
can't even believe that's an argument. But I'm gonna say one more thing, and this is another talking point that
Oh, go ahead, man.
Peter and I did. I don't look. I don't think Bryce is gonna win a Heisman, man.
No.
I don't think Bryce Young is gonna win a Heisman.
No,
I just
not
don't.
there.
No,
Rob,
not.
I during while I was listening to the Michigan Spring game last week, I tweeted probably during the first quarter. And I said, dude, like him transferring from LSU was a mistake because as people like to go on BK Brian Kelly, but he has shown that he can create a high level offense. He's had success. He has the weapon. LSU has top 5 talent in the country. All that right there for you. And you chose paper clips, lint, and a used condom for wide receivers.
No, let's be real, Garrison. He didn't choose that. He chose the gigantic bag of money that
he chose
dropped
the
on
dinero.
Bears' front doorstep. That's what he chose.
Now, I'm not saying that Bryce Underwood isn't talented. I'm not saying he doesn't have potential to be great. It's just that it's not going to be his fault if he doesn't reach that potential. It's going to be Michigan's fault for not. So here's the thing, I was in the chats with Johnny talking about this, and he was saying, well, in 2023, we didn't have those wide receivers to win the national championship. But I'm saying, then I said, Blake Corum was their best player in offense. So what do? They built the offense around him. They got all these. They had a great offensive line to make sure that he can make plays. Now, Michigan has a chance to just absolutely fumble this and not form their offensive identity and get elite playmakers around potentially their best quarterback they've ever had. I mean, they're talking about Tristan Keys. Well, Tristan Keys, it's funny, he's going to LSU. I mean, they keep talking about these wide receivers. Like every year, it's like you're not going to get these top-notch wide receivers to a program where you run the ball 75% of the time.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they do around him, but I tend to agree with you. He is not going to win the Heisman Trophy.
Now, I'm not saying that Michigan's not going to win a national championship within the next 2 to 3 years. That's a different discussion. But, due to, who do they have? Samaj Morgan, Fred Moore.
They don't have anybody who's worth anything, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I made a list last night, when Peter and I did our show. And I named like good amount of Heisman quarterbacks, such as, Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, you had Bryce Young, and they all had first round talent at the wide receiver position. I mean, even the Heisman finalists, Trevor Lawrence had first round wide receiver talent around him. And then you had, not trying to be biased, Justin Fields, first round talent wide receiver, CJ Stroud, first round talent wide receiver, even Deshaun Watson. I mean, we can keep going. I mean, it's just that I don't get it. And then they get two running backs in the transfer portal. I just don't get it. I mean, I think that they may fumble something great. I do, just by like what I'm seeing. Now, will Chip Lindsey switch things up and and Sharon Moore get on board with getting away from the Harbaugh identity? Only time will tell.
Do you guys know the answer to this question?
All
It had to
pro.
be. Is it Desmond Howard?
No. He didn't make all pro. Well, I think he may have made all pro as a returner. He definitely wasn't as a wide receiver.
Yeah. That was a wild.
I would say I don't think it was Braylon Edwards, but that's
No,
the only
Braylon
guy who's like
sucked.
coming to mind. I to be honest, I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe there hasn't been.
There might not have been. Maybe that's
man.
why this is kind of poses that question.
Yeah, I mean, Marsh has potential. Andrew Marsh has potential, but other than that, like it doesn't seem like they're getting anybody. I mean, look, they have the 26 class and the 27 class who have to do something at that position. They don't do anything, it's over. It's done. They have 2 more classes to do it.
What pick does Zeke go when he was drafted?
He was number 4 to the Cowboys. You should know that. You're a Cowboys fan.
Drafting, I would never draft Ashton Jeanty at 6.
It was an interesting decision, but the Raiders are going to.
I would never.
That's a Tom Brady pick, actually. Tom Brady was infatuated with him, so that's why they took him. I would never have taken this Membu kid for the Jets. I mean, to be fair, I don't really know a whole lot about him, but I mean, Missouri was dog shit, so I don't know.
But all right, you guys, thanks for having me on here. Always great to chat with some fellow Buckeyes, man. But yeah, just gonna go enjoy the draft, and hopefully the Lions get a Buckeye, dude. I'm pulling for it, man. Jack Sawyer. I hope he ends up.
I'm just gonna watch my Cowboys do something stupid.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in, Rob. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. All right, later, you guys.
See you, man.
Yep.
See ya. All right, but before we do that,
do some reading.
Yeah, we gotta do some reading here. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the voice of college football. Let's discuss how you also can reach your target market, like the Win Agency. And check out their experience with us here and some of our other current partners posted on the screen. We are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at vocf.com. vocfb.com today.
So I know you just talked about. I know you just said you talked about Jeanty. So as the 6th overall pick, he's going to make a fully guaranteed contract of about $32 million. That's going to make him the second highest paid running back in the NFL in terms of guaranteed money. So
the only reason I think you pay a running back, not pay, but you draft a running back that high is that he better be everything that Ashton Jeanty is, but you got to be an elite blocker like Ezekiel Elliott was. I wouldn't, because at the end of the day, I need you to protect the money, and the money is the quarterback. And I don't know if Ashton Jeanty is much of a blocker. So
well, yeah, and
you didn't win the Super Bowl off the back of a running back. I'm telling you
also
that
got to
now.
do that at a P4 level, not at Boise State. Just saying.
Yeah,
just saying.
But
also, we found our answer to this question real quick. It was Braylon Edwards. So
Braylon was an All-Pro.
He looked it up. He had that one good year. That was it.
Yep. But to get back to what we were talking about earlier, and again, everyone, if you could, if you haven't already, hit the like button. It'd be a great help. It's free for us. It's the only monetary thing we ask of you. Also, if you want to check out the memberships that we have, click on join. You can see it there. Well, if you want to be a actually probably more towards the summer, and then especially during football season, we'll be having a lot more content out here that we'll probably be putting out for some of it for the members. So we'd love to have you on there. Now, back to this. What do you think about the running backs?
The running backs, I think they are.
If you had to give it a grade,
I don't think they're great.
By the way,
I think they are. I mean, it seems like they like Peoples as the starter, which I find interesting. I mean, Donaldson's got proven. Also, I don't think he's going to Dallas. I think Carolina still has that pick right now, and that's what I heard was he's going to Carolina. So, but that would be a very Dallas pick to just take a fast wide receiver. But I just see the Buckeyes having another solid running game. I don't think it's going to be as good as it was last year. I think that's hard to replicate with what Trey and Quinshon Judkins were able to do. I think that Peoples and Donaldson are going to split carries pretty evenly. I think that worked well last year, and I think both Ryan Day and Ryan Hartline want that to happen. So I think that's I think the running backs are going to be good, not like elite. I think they'll be pretty good, which I quite frankly, I think that's all that they need. Also, this comment is abhorrent to me.
Gregory?
Rings live forever.
Gregory, that's like saying you'll trade your wife for your ex-girlfriend, and you love your wife and you hate your ex-girlfriend. Look, a national title is forever. Like Nick Saban said, when
a national title that you didn't cheat in to win,
yes,
that lives forever.
Oh yes, and when Nick Saban said when his team lost to Auburn, won the national championship, he said, "Do you think they gave a damn about that Auburn game?" No, and I'm here to tell you, does that game mean a lot to me? Yes, but as a fan, now I'm not a player, I'm not the coach. As a fan, I don't give a damn about that loss when I finish it off with beating Tennessee and Columbus, curb stomping Oregon, sending those well, they're not steers, but we sent them back down to Texas. And then when it came to Notre Dame, Ryan, I told them to bring the holy water. They forgot it clearly because we pounced them after they sent Riley Leonard to the morgue on that first drive. So no, man, you never trade a national title for a loss.
Nope, would never.
Right.
Also, Tet did get drafted by the Panthers, so
he did.
Yeah, so that's where McMillan went. So he's the first receiver off the board.
So now let's get a quarterback. Now,
I think both of us are in agreement. It's Julian Sand,
yeah,
and just he's going to be pretty good. And I think the only thing holding him back is inexperience. I know you think he's going to be better than I do. I think
he's going to New York.
I'm not going to say that yet.
40 tugs. 40 tugs.
Yeah,
we'll tubs.
I think he's going to be very good. I'm not worried about him. I think week one will be a bit of a shock to him, like playing that good of a team just right off the bat. I think getting his feet wet after that will be important, but I still think he's going to be really good. So I'm not – he doesn't worry me.
Are you clearly Lincoln isn't leaving? You know,
No.
Sidebar. We haven't talked about this. I think this is very important, and I know we got a couple minutes here, but we're gonna get through it all. Don't worry. What does it say that Ohio about no one really no one leaving, no one left, and I don't think anyone is going to hit that portal.
Well, yeah, the only people who have are TC Caffey, who he just wasn't going to see the field after. I mean, last year was his chance to see any sort of playing time.
Yeah, he wasn't on scholarship yet, was he?
Yeah, and then Anthony Vaneri, again, third string punter. But so far, no one else has hit the portal. I mean, that tells you that they all want to run it back. Like, they want to win back-to-back now. That's what that tells me.
I think the culture is strong over there, man. I think that brotherhood is strong over there right now. I mean, it's honestly justifiable and understandable why, if you're like a third-string guy at Ohio State, hell, if you're a second-string guy, you want to start. I can understand you leaving. In today's world, I can. For these guys, none of these guys to do that. And then Lincoln, listen, I don't know, Coach Day, Brian Hartline, I don't know what you guys did. I don't know what the foundation had to do. I don't know what listen, I know Lincoln likes to model a little bit, so you guys probably got him a nice little NIL deal with that. But I'm happy. It seems like Lincoln is staying. And I think it's very important that Lincoln is staying, just in terms of talking about the quarterbacks, just in case anything happens. Wide receivers, how do you feel?
Fine. I'll just say that. Not a whole lot needs to be said with that group.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're going to be great. I mean, they've got the best player in college football in that group. Carnell Tate's also really good. We've talked about Ennis, Myron Graham. I think he's going to step up. No problems. They're really good.
Who do you think is going to be the guy that flashes? And you can't say you can't say Carnell, and you can't say
I can't say the best player in college football.
No,
because I think it's him. But I mean, it does seem like Graham is poised to have a bigger role in the offense, and it'll be interesting to see
who would have thought? What psycho would think that Malin Graham was probably going to play a big role on this? Man, that guy must be very smart.
5-star wide receiver? What?
No. Well, in a 5-star room.
Yeah.
But no, I think this wide receiver unit is really deep. I think it's deeper than last year's. I think it has a higher ceiling. And I actually think that I think the ceiling of the wide receiver room is going to get raised for this year and going into next year also. And that's going to happen also because Jeremiah is getting better every single season by himself. Yeah. So no, it's that room is that room, and then O-line. Well, again, I think we're kind of like on the same here. I think that when you look at the starting three, like interior, right? I think those guys are going to be elite. I think it's the top 5 offensive line interior in the nation.
It's just the tackles.
Yeah, and you know what? And there's a really good chance that those 2 guys or 3, or I mean, because Cerebell's going to be on the field somewhere. They can put him at guard, they can put him at tackle, they can do whatever. So I like that. I think that again, I think that our O line is kind of in a position that the D line is in, where at the top is really good, but the guys behind they're very young. So
yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to sustain the kind of injuries they had last year.
Not this season. Not this season. They can if they have one injury, I think they can maybe 2. But it can't be well this year I would say it can't be Carson. And I would say it can't be Montgomery.
I would say it can't be any of the 3 interior guys, quite frankly. Like whatever combination, whether it ends up being Montgomery
if Tegra gets hurt, we can put. If Tegra gets hurt, I'm okay with putting Cerebell there.
Fine, but is Daniels ready? Like, do we know that? That's part of my concern.
Look, I'm still amazed that on that top 150 football players on CBS in college football, there's only one offensive lineman on that list on Ohio State, and it's Philip Daniels.
Yeah, which is insane. That's honestly, it's lunacy.
And basing that off of what, like 5 seconds of football tape? I don't know how they did that.
Yeah. Well, and then tight end, we know Max Clare is going to be really good, and that's about all we know. Will Kasmerick might get hurt again, and Jelani's probably not. Look, I think this guy's a Michigan fan. I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, he clearly is.
Give him anymore.
Yeah. No, I think Jelani might. I think Jelani might be. And the thing is that with Jelani, if we can get some wide receiver throw out of him, that's nice. But he's a very good blocker. We found that out last season. I thought he had some. What was that? Penn State. He had a really good block in that game, I believe, on the goal line when he pulled. It was one of those guys. Maybe it wasn't Penn State, but yeah. I know he had a good season last year blocking wise. But with his size, Jelani's what, 255?
His physical skills have never been questioned.
Yeah, so I mean, just in terms of like what we can do on the offense, especially in the run game with him blocking. Max Clare is a good blocker. Will, if he's able to get healthy, he's a good blocker. I think that this again, I think that I think the what did Michael Jordan say? The ceiling is the roof. I think the ceiling of the roof of this offense in terms of what it can be and what it can be.
Yeah, I agree. Got anything else before we wrap things up?
No.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us tonight. Garrison will be seeing you on Monday. I will not. I will be gone for the next couple of weeks. I will be abroad. So you guys won't see me until 2 Mondays from now. Actually, 3 Mondays from now, because the next 2 Mondays I'll be gone. So it'll be a little bit, but once I see you again, it'll, I'm sure there will be a lot to talk about. Ohio State football doesn't sleep. So Garrison,
and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Exactly.
No, man, I hope you have a good trip, man, and get there safely.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna love it. Till then, OH.
IO.